They have used the prosecutor's office. They have used lawfare as a tool, as a weapon to ruin lives. We have, as of this morning, update here on the James Comey trial. I believe it is going to be happening January 5th. It is set for. So that's pretty quick. They're moving pretty fast on this one. And here is Fox News' Bill Hemmer. This is from this morning, just with that breaking news and laying out some of what's going on here for Sancta Comey. Play it.
Here is the breaking news. The former FBI Director James Comey in front of a judge moments ago in a hearing that we did not think would last long, and apparently that is the case. He has entered a plea of not guilty to 2 charges, federal level now. Our producers inside the courtroom say the former director accused of lying to Congress, obstructing a congressional proceeding, entered the plea moments ago in front of the judge, Michael Nachmanoff, appointed by Joe Biden, not guilty on both federal charges. He's accused of lying in front of Congress back in 2020. So that is the update inside the courtroom.
So now he's going to trial. One of the most hilarious arguments against this that I keep seeing all over the place from the libs is, oh my gosh, the precedent that has been set here. What would you do, Republicans, if people started to use prosecutors' offices as weapons of politics? And to this, you just want to say, have you been asleep for the last decade? Do you have any idea what has gone on with 4 different criminal cases brought against Donald Trump, all of which were bogus, civil cases brought against Trump by the state of New York in one case, and by a woman who claims from 30-something years ago, Trump, grabbed her in a department store. The stuff that they have done, the lawfare they have done against Trump and his family alone has done tremendous damage to the public's faith in all of these different facets of our criminal justice system, or just our justice system of the courts, too, because some of it was civil. This is atrocious. I mean, the things that have gone on here, the precedents that have already been set, now they want to tell us we should be worried about going too far in the other direction. No, they already did this. In fact, what they have done, what the Democrats have done specifically with the targeted lawfare against Donald Trump, among many others, it's really Trump and Trump world, everybody who is Trump adjacent, all the way to January 6th defendants, right? It's the whole Trump movement that they have used the prosecutor's office. They have used lawfare as a tool, as a weapon to ruin lives, to put tremendous pressure on people, to financially drain them, to undermine them, to malign them, to defame them. All of that they have already done. They sent an FBI team to Mar-a-Lago, and they went through Melania's sock drawer. And libs want to lecture us about James Comey, who allegedly lied under oath, facing the music? I'm sorry, is there some special carve-out for being a 6'10" jerk who uses the law in order to puff himself up and is part of his own just malignant narcissism? Is there some carve-out where he doesn't have to actually face the music the way that he has made so many others, and I think entrapped people and abused the law? Most notably General Flynn. I like to fill in these gaps, too, so no one can say, well, you just said he's abusing it. No, I like to give you the specifics to remind everybody. To remind everybody that James Comey thought it was funny to use the Logan Act, which no serious human being thinks anybody can or would be prosecuted under, as a total pretext. It's like the equivalent of a swatting call. It is a bad faith use of law enforcement to go after General Michael Flynn, the incoming national security advisor. I know it feels like that was a long time ago, but there hasn't been, well, maybe you don't feel that way, but they'll say that. But there's been no justice for that. That ambush hasn't been punished. And James Comey thinks that he's a clever guy for the whole thing. And he thinks that, what was that book? I think it was Higher Power. Is that right? Higher Power or something like that. Now, the real question you might ask is James Comey's book a more brutal read than Kamala's 107 Days? I cannot answer that question because I haven't read Comey's book, but I will tell you that is some stiff competition. That is, Superman versus Iron Man with the super suit. That is tough stuff. Really, really preposterous that James Comey would think anybody would want to read his memoir and on his book tour. But such as things are, he is now facing the music, and there's the possibility. I think it's slim. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver ever on this show. I think it is slim, but here's what I will tell that he will actually be convicted because it's a Northern Virginia jury. I was just saying how much fun D.C. is with no government bureaucrats running around. They all live in Arlington, mostly. They live, a lot of them, inside or just outside of the Beltway. It's going to be a very favorable pool for James Comey, but here's why I view this as so important. The message is received whether Comey is found guilty or not. The message is received that there will at least be an effort to hold the other side to the law and not create a system. This is really important. A system where we are held to an extra legal standard and they are held to a sub-legal standard, or rather, they get to break the law and get away with it. Meanwhile, they get to prosecute us, Trump, for not breaking the law, and we do nothing in response. We have to at least establish that we will bring charges against people who have been involved in this lawfare, involved in using the government, the deep state, however you want to describe it, to take out people for purely political reasons. Well, if they break the law in that process, there will be some form of accountability. And now there is going to be, I think, a pretty high probability, just based on the jury pool, that Comey will be found, in my mind, he'll be found not guilty. He'll be acquitted on this. But let's see. Let's see. It's a pretty straightforward thing. Did he lie or did he not lie? Let's see what kind of case the prosecutor. I know I don't want to prejudge anything here. Let's see what is produced in that court. You don't need to call me and say, Buck, you're already getting ahead of the cart before the horse here. I know, but I like to manage our expectations for where this is going. It's still a steep climb. This is a little bit of ice skating uphill here to think that James Comey is going to actually be convicted. But the fact that the charge has been brought alone sends a message. We are not going to just lie down and accept a two-tiered system of justice in this town, Washington, D.C., or anywhere else for that matter. And that is important. That is something that we all have to recognize as a necessary step, because otherwise it's, heads they win, tails we lose. Did I do that one right? I always feel like I'm going to get that one wrong. It's like Bush when he's like, fool me once, can't get fooled again. It's tougher to say it, especially on a live radio show, than you think it's going to be. But that's where this is right now, my friends. That is the situation. I was just talking before I came on air today about how much we love our Cozy Earth sheets. And also, we've got a blanket. I mean, Carrie is wrapped in this blanket now all the time. I mean, she is wrapped in this thing like an Eskimo. She loves it. And Cozy Earth has fantastic products. Their bamboo sheets will transform your sleep. Not just the softest sheets you've slept on, but they're also temperature regulating and moisture wicking, so you'll actually sleep cooler. They come in a variety of styles and colors, including sheets for baby cribs. By the way, we've got those in our nursery. Little baby Speed, he loves them, and he's really cute, so you better believe that if he likes them, your baby will like them. Try them risk-free for a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty. You can find all Cozy Earth products online at CozyEarth.com. Producer Allie, right now, sitting with me in studio in D.C., is wearing a Cozy Earth cashmere sweater. It's cashmere. You don't have a top hat and a monocle on. I'm a little disappointed, but it's cashmere. It's very fancy. It's very nice. She said, touch the softness of this. And I was like, what is this, velvet? And she was like, no, it's cashmere. I was like, amazing. Some of you will catch that reference. Anyway, Cozy Earth. Cozy Earth is fantastic. CozyEarth.com. Use code BUCK for 20% off. CozyEarth.com, code BUCK. When you get the post-purchase survey after you bought your Cozy Earth products, be sure to let them know you heard about them from Clay and Buck. New sponsor here on the show. We love their products. CozyEarth.com. Promo code BUCK for 20% off.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And be sure to hit that like button.